we have about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is an American businessman, politician, and a candidate of the Republican Party for President of the United States in the 2016 election. Donald was born June 14, 1946. He graduated from the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. Then he worked for his father, but after graduating, he joined the company in 1968, and in 1971 he was given control. Later, he renamed it to the Trump Organization.
Donald Trump has a lot of political positions, such as the wall at the Mexican border, the veteran reform, and the immigration reform. All these political stands has a strong meaning to the American people, and we think that is why he is so popular at the moment. There's been a lot in the media about his plan of building a wall between Mexico and America, and this has both been hated and loved. His plan for the wall is to let the Americans pay for it. The Mexicans pay for it. He wants to increase a small fee on visas, and therefore some of it can be paid, and then he wants to let the Mexican government pay for the rest, because Mexicans have stolen a lot of jobs from the Americans, as Trump believes. The veterans who have come home after war has not been treated properly, if you ask Trump. He believes that they receive medical care way too late, and that is the reasons why 300,000 veterans die every year. And therefore he wants to invest in more medical care for the veterans. Trump believes that the Americans are losing jobs to immigrants too, and therefore he wants to prioritize Americans before employing immigrants. To conclude, he wants to put Americans before immigrants and make jobs much secure for Americans, and of course keep the immigrants out of the country with the border control, as the southern wall he wants to build.
Should Donald Trump be the next president? We believe that Donald Trump should not be the president of the United States because of several reasons. First of all, he is not formal at all. He says things the way he wants and does not care at all about what people think. You can argue that this is not a bad thing. Trump's voters actually like him for being honest and say things without remorse. But because of his informal nature, he could be seen as unpredictable. Being unpredictable is a bad thing, especially if you're the president of the United States. Other countries might see the US as unpredictable because of Trump, and this might destroy their trust towards the US. Another thing that we believe is the reason Trump should not be the president is the fact that he is a racist. We know that he has not said it out loud, but if you look at the facts, he has racist thoughts. As a starter, he does not want to let any Muslim immigrants or people from the Middle East into the US because he is afraid of terrorism. We know there is Muslim extremists in the Middle East, but that is a minor number compared to the rest of the Muslim population. In fact, there's around 1.6 billion Muslims in the world today, and Trump labels them all as terrorists. As a person who wants to be president, you cannot go around and say those kind of things. But Muslims are not the only one Trump is being racist towards. He's also racist towards the Central Americans. He says that they only bring crime and that all Central Americans, or Mexicans as he calls them, that all Central American men are rapists. He also says that they take the jobs from the Americans. Trump wants to stop the illegal immigration from Mexico by building a wall. We believe that that is also an act of racism. It is true that the people from Central America immigrate illegally into the US, but it's only because they want a better life. They've been seduced by the country with possibilities and the American dream. It is also true that Central American people have a lot of jobs, but they only get the shit jobs that the Americans do not want. So we do not actually see a problem with them getting jobs. But we do see a problem with Trump's way of seeing Muslims and Mexicans. Lastly, we think that Trump should not be the president because he does not have any experience with politics. He is the owner of his own real estate company, and suddenly he thinks that he can become the president of a whole country. Compared to the other candidates he is against, he is such an underdog in politics, but somehow managed to win every election.